I think when it comes to CTV serving, buyers have a lot of options in terms of activation, and it can start with an ad server, which is typically a really smart place to start. There are also folks who could buy centrally through a DSP, but then DSPs range in terms of optionality, I think, within this space. So, and then of course you could go right with one of the publisher ad servers as well. So there's a lot of places to start, and I think that requires a strategy and being intentional before buyers just get into it and drop something where it is and decide to go from there.
And so there's a lot of data out there, and advertisers are increasingly demanding more and more data on content and targeting. So what can the industry do to get more granular data from the bid stream?
Well, I don't know of any auction or marketplace environment in any industry where less information gets better pricing for both sides. And the more information that's shared will always drive prices to the right, most valuable place. And so for quality inventory, more information is going to drive up bids. For low quality inventory, it might drive down bids. But what are we building the industry for? Are we building it for high quality or low quality? Right? So let's build this industry for the highest quality, giving publishers who may be on the edge of quality right now reason to improve their quality.
Okay. And then as far as signals go and measurement approaches, do you see any that are key for ensuring CTV campaigns remain effective?
Yeah, so I think for signals, you look at all the signals that you get from digital anyway. And of course, the hard one with CTV is that you're unlikely to get an on-device path from your big screen in the living room all the way to the app or the landing page or whatever it is. But that doesn't mean that there aren't ways, and whether fingerprinting is in or out, who knows, and whether IP address is in or out, who knows. Marketers have to be able to measure their impression and the value of their media. And so the value comes from being able to look holistically. CTV alone is not the driver for all behavior. Right, so all media works together, and so I think when we talk in the industry about the value of display, the value of audio, the value of CTV, they are all valuable, but they are valuable as part of a group and part of a landscape or an ecosystem or whatever we want to call it. And true measurement providers and true measurement experts look at those as ingredients to the final pie. And so I think CTV has to do two things. Number one, it has to provide all the signals it can. But secondarily, it has to understand its place as part of a larger ecosystem that marketers are trying to measure.
So how does this impact publishers and advertisers in terms of making sure that they're getting the most out of CTV?
Well, I think, so it starts with information. If we go back to, in order to get the most out of CTV, buyers need to know what they're buying. And things like show level transparency, the fact that we didn't have it, we will look back and laugh. I'm certain of that. And then using clean rooms and partnering up with either large publishers or aggregated publisher sets, and using clean rooms to figure out whose audiences overlap and where and what the right way to target that is. And I think if I look at streaming channel 1 versus streaming channel 2, and I have 10 million overlap here and I have 4 million overlap here, 10 isn't better than 4. They're both really important. Now there's an overlap between the two of those that we have to look at. But anywhere I can get the audience that I want has to be valued and then taken into consideration for how I value the price of the media.